Okay, so today I officially make my transition from the Shaman gimmick deck to now what is going to be a Paladin gimmick deck. And so I thoroughly enjoyed the Shaman one. That was one of actually the most fun experiences we've had in this whole gimmick deck rotation. So I've been going through every single class, and we're almost at the end now. We only have Paladin, Mage left, and then after that it'll be like a final three. But those three almost don't count, and they sort of fit in their own category where it's Rogue, but it's like, oh, what's my favorite Rogue deck ever? Not really anything, because I never really fucking played the class. It may as well have been vanished to me. I treated Rogue like it's a ghost, like it's invisible the whole time I played this game. They've been installed through my whole Hearthstone experience. But the point is that we'll do that maybe with something even meta currently, or I'll just try to find something that I find fun with it. It'll be Rogue, and then it'll be Demon Hunter and Death Knight. Obviously, Death Knight's too new for me to even say, like, oh, what's my favorite deck of all time with Death Knight from the last year and a half. Like, I did play them a little bit when they came out, but I don't really have a strong preference. Like, I would just use the Headless Horseman guy. The hero card, I'm pretty sure, is what it was. That would be cool, just I've never actually used that yet, and I always was calling for... I always wanted them to add one for Death Knights just because they didn't have one, so they finally did. But other than that, I wouldn't have a strong criteria for it. And then Demon Hunter, I had done like one gimmick deck before, but it had nothing to do with really being Demon Hunter, where it's just like every stealth minion in the game and just trying to see like what kind of, you know, little weird synergy you could do with that, which again, that would make more sense maybe even for Rogue. But no, that's the whole point, is that I barely played Demon Hunter, even though it's, you know, I would say it's a newer class, like quote unquote, because of Death Knight and Demon Hunter both, but they're not really that new. It's just that I never really played them since they came out. Death Knight I played a good bit when it first came out, but again, it's not been that long. So those three classes are going to be a big mystery, because it's not even like, oh, I'm playing my favorite deck from the history of the game. I'm playing maybe a deck that seems fun, but maybe something I've never played, because I haven't played any of those three classes a sufficient amount to really have a strong opinion on it. So this is normally the episode where I, you know, will go through and try to build a deck for the gimmick that I'm doing. So just like anything that is the most fun. But let's do a little recap on what I've done so far, since we are almost at the end of this. So the next one is going to be Mage, probably like next month. The Shaman one went on. Why is this even... fuck. The fact that... I feel like this is bugged out. We did, what do you call it? We did Shaman maybe for like a month and a half or something extra. But so if we go back, it was like towards the end of last year, I started off with Warrior and Warlock, my probably two favorite classes in the history of the game. Probably my favorite deck being in a, you know, meta literal sense. Like I love the Armor Warrior with the Justicar. I liked a couple Warlock ones, kind of a little later on than what people would think of the early game, like not really handlock and stuff like that, but similar ones later on. So the whole, and that South Sea thing is coming out pretty soon, I feel like. I always forget when they actually do come out. But no, the fact of the matter is that we started off, okay, we did Warrior, and so for Warrior we did Explore Ungoro, Zin Azari, and the Iron Juggernaut. Then for, you know, three of my favorite decks / cards in the history of the game for Warrior. Then you have Warlock, I mainly did it for Renounced Darkness. Then I did Whizbang, I believe, towards the end of last year, like sort of going into the new year. Just the old Whizbang to try out some of those. So that was like just sort of an aside. Then we did the Hunter for like just Karnasa was kind of a little fun. And then just using the Rexar hero overall. I didn't really have like a strong one for that. But I love that Rexar Zombies crafting mechanic. That in itself is super fun. And then after that, we did... Druid with all the anti-spell stuff, elusive, evasive. There's not really a deck theme as much, but with a lot of those AoE buffs. So Druids have a lot of those buffs that affect stuff on the board that you don't have to directly target it, right? Like, I can't remember even what they're called, but they have a lot of those, which even at the time, yeah, like this, Pride's Fury and stupid stuff like that. But the point is that that wasn't good even when I first did it many years back, and especially it feels kind of redundant now. Just do Lorthamar, lol, just play Lorthamar. But the point is that, whatever, we do all the evasive minions in the game, basically, and just have all the ones. Obviously, you have Tyrantus is a pretty good one for Druid, but those two classes I associate with anti-spell. Druid, because of the AoE buffs that you can do to those elusive minions, even if you can't target them, right? Which was cool kind of back in the day, even if it still wasn't that good. And then I associate mages with that because you can do a bunch of counterspell and things like that. So you're kind of complementing what is already a counterspell mentality with all the elusive, evasive stuff. Okay, so that is... we did Druid. Then after Druid, I think I did Whizbang again. So like every 2 classes I did Warrior, then I did Warrior Warlock, then I did the old Whizbang, then I did Hunter and Druid, then I did the new Whizbang, I'm pretty sure, or I did like the Gauntlet, where I would play as like the new Whizbang and the old Whizbang and see which one did better, basically, for the episode. So when I lose with one, I have to play with the other, and I sort of compete against them. So I did that as another aside, but it was just very fitting because obviously this one was very this expansion had just come out, so just by sheer chance they came out with a new Whizbang, so I had to try it. And so I still haven't seen a lot of the decks that it would have, but whatever, it was fun. And then from there we did Shaman, which was obviously for the evolve effect, which again, that one went on a bit longer, just either because I liked it so much or because whatever, the Whizbang thing sort of maybe interrupted it. I maybe started doing it, or I was meant to do it, and then whatever, I got distracted by the Whizbang. So now we got Paladin. It's kind of fitting to play these two back to back too, because we got like the Horde exclusive race and the Alliance exclusive race from vanilla, which I always thought it maybe should have been Warlock somehow, but you know, like, oh, the Horde hate demons, so they're gonna ostracize Warlocks just same way that even the Alliance does. But that's not really what it's about. Like, oh, the light and the dark with you know, or whatever. I'm actually wrong with my explanation too. But like, Alliance could have Paladins and the Horde could have Warlocks, because the Horde are like the bad guys, pseudo, you know, whatever, is what it felt like. And so they're more willing to mess with dark magic and things like that, whereas the Alliance just isn't in vanilla, and then they can add that later. But it's interesting that they made it Shaman, because that makes it feel like a cultural thing more so than a moral thing, right? It's not that, oh, we're willing to summon demons. It's just that we, you know, there are no Shamans in the Alliance just by chance, and there are no Paladins in the Horde just by chance. Whereas it would have been a more clear dichotomy of like, oh, Warlocks are kind of evil and edgy and cool, the same way that the Horde was, whereas the Alliance is like sticks in the mud and, oh, the holy light and blah, 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 right? That at least would have been the characterization. So I was actually sort of surprised to see that they didn't do that, right? That would have been my expectation originally with Vanilla WoW, with the specific... It might have made more sense too, in a way. But then again, I do like the dynamic of how the Alliance treats the Warlocks. Like, they're always in the basement and stuff like that. I feel like the Horde is much more accepting of them still. And they're kind of still reclusive a little bit, but it's not quite the same. They're always in a basement or a cellar or hiding somewhere like weird. So yeah, we gotta mess around with the Paladin, but like I said, I don't even feel too motivated to what do you call it, like make anything too fancy, so we'll just kind of see what we have. I do have a decent amount of cards because we had gotten like these as free decks or whatever, right? So this will have at least a bunch of cool shit in there, maybe none of which I really want to use, or I'd have to go back. See, I don't like to look anything up, even if it's just for fun purposes. I'll just look through every Paladin card in the history of the game and decide what is the most fun thing to do, or at least I should look through legendaries or something. But we're going to focus around the Uther one with the 4 Horsemen, because that's the only one I could think of off the top of my head that is like a fun mechanic and, you know, very unique at the time, at least in this game. And I've seen this other card that is like something to do with the 4 Horsemen, like you play a 6/5 Baron Rivendare and he shuffles the other Horsemen in your deck. But I don't think that's the same one. I don't think that's the same one as what we're seeing here. Like, what is that card? I swear I've seen something like that. It says something like shuffle the other Horsemen into your deck, and it's some other thing that's not going to be part of the archetype. Yeah, what is this? Shuffle the other 3 Horsemen into your deck. If you had all 4 Horsemen die, this... Oh, it is similar. It's not kind of... Wait, but how would this work with the other thing? If you had all 4 Horsemen, but they mean these Horsemen, right? The 2 can't interact with each other. Like, what if I had the other 4 die, right? So you could... that would be kind of fun. I'll combine these 2 together, even though they have nothing to do with each other, just for the pure element of gimmickry. The one problem with me doing this, as much as I've enjoyed it, is like I'm too much of a casual these days. I don't play the game that much, and I don't have, you know, the greatest collection on hand anymore because I always disenchant and ruin it. And so the point is that The point is that you're putting yourself in a position where you're not able to basically do anything because everything is very limited. And the reason why is because I guess I could just disenchant a whole bunch of shit. Right, like the likelihood of that being good is probably pretty high. Just to get like one golden legendary or something. I don't even know what I want to make with it. But no, if I played more and, you know, whatever, took the game more seriously, I could have every card in the game at my access and just, then I could really push the limits of something fun. But I'm doing it now at a surface level because, again, some of these classes I haven't even played that much in the history of the game. Like Paladin and Shaman were both in like that middle tier where it's like middle bottom, where I played them a little bit, maybe mostly in arena, but I never really played them a ton, especially in constructed. And so yeah, the 4 Horsemen is the only one I can really think of as far as like a super fun idea or mechanic for Paladin. There's a lot of stuff to do with Murloc Knight that comes to mind from a long time ago, but other than that, I'm not really sure. There's that one really cool guy that adapts like 4 times that I always found that kind of a fun thing. Right, you can give him stealth, and then he has Mega Wind Fury or some shit, assuming you can give him that, or even just Wind Fury and attack, and then you just one-shot them the next turn. So if we do that, then I'd be very happy about that aspect. Like, you combine these 3. I have both of the 4 Horsemen things. I have the, I forget even what exactly goes into the 4 Horsemen deck, but I probably still have it here. And there's probably much better ways to do it. That's kind of my point, right? If I was more into the game in modern style, if I had more resources at my disposal, I wouldn't just make the old gimmick deck that I'm trying to do. I'd try to make a better, newer version of it, maybe. But even then, sometimes I like to stick within a hard rule set. Like I was doing that pretty well with the Shaman, where, you know, I was staying very authentic and true to it, where every card has to say one of the following card tags. Oh, but that's not a golden one. This is just a regular one. So I would stay true to it in terms of every card has to say summon a copy. Every card has to say, that's even a Paladin legendary, but probably not one that I'm going to use. Or I could try like a 30 legendary deck where like everything is just, you know, that's what Total Biscuit did at the beginning of the game, where there were really only about 30 legendaries in the game, period. So he just had like every single one. Right, but you could do like every single class legendary, something like that. But the point is that it had a clear criteria. Like every card has to say either transform or copy or something else, right? So you're going strictly by literal hard stuck on that notion. So it's like no matter how good of a player you are or whatever you think, you know, oh haha, look at this clown using this shitty deck and getting his ass beat at silver 10, it doesn't matter, because within that criteria that might be the best thing you could possibly do, or you know, at least the criteria is very clear and established. So you're not simply just trying to win or make the best deck. You're trying to build it around something in a very specific way and hard commit to that idea. Yeah, today we'll mostly just be trying to set up the deck, I guess. I was going to try to just go straight into playing because I kind of don't feel like doing it, but I'm not going to really be too inventive, I don't think. Like, I'll just go with that basic idea, and then I can keep iterating upon it, which I often am almost too lazy to do. But let me try to disenchant some of that shit, and we'll make at least a few of these legendaries. So we got at least one golden legendary, I feel like. Let me see. And we can basically just disenchant everything that isn't a Paladin card anyway. But no, I never disliked Paladins as a class, but I never really paid them that much attention either. Again, they're kind of in that middle tier. If I was to rank the ones of what I've done so far, Warrior would be in the top tier, even though I always hated them and made fun of them in arena because they kind of sucked. And a lot of the time they haven't been that good in constructed either. I feel like when they've been good, they've been really good, but I don't know, I just feel like they're sort of up and down. And so what you have is the simple ability to okay, so Warrior would be up near the top, both in terms of how much I like them and how much I played them. Warlock also. Then Hunter would be kind of in the middle, maybe upper middle or whatever, something like that. And then Whizbang doesn't count because he's not a class. And then we had Hunter. What did I do after Hunter? Before Shaman. I must have done something. I think I just said it. We went Hunter, Druid is also probably middle, maybe upper middle a little bit. And then you would think I would like them more, considering how much I absolutely love green and magic, which is kind of what you could say, oh, they copied, right? The druid is kind of based on that, but obviously whatever. So yeah, mage will definitely be the next one. And again, those are the two classes that I associate with the elusive mechanic, where I sort of build around that. And so we'll do like an anti-spell elusive type of mage thing that we have to look forward to. So this will just leave it. Even if there is something I don't want to use, we will absolutely have no choice but to use this for that mechanic. I mean, that is still a fun thing. Why are there so many though? Wait. Oh no, they're just telling you other things. I was gonna say it's the 4 horsemen, not the 6 horsemen. But no, what else? So warlock is up there. Hunter isn't really up there, kind of middle. Druid is sort of middle. Shaman is sort of bottom middle. And so is the actual paladin. Or yeah, I'm somebody who's known for shitting all over. I can't believe I didn't even think to mention that till now. I'm somebody who always shits all over paladins in classic WoW, especially because they were always so. Why do I have that? So what? Wait, this, yeah, we have evolve at home. Even the gimmick thing I was doing before was better than this. Why the fuck do I even have that? The point is that, you know, they're just auto attack clowns that don't have very good design to them. And again, I'm not saying they're not good functionally. I'm saying they're terribly designed and they're boring as hell. Auto attack to the extreme, unfinished class, even by their own admission. Absolutely garbage, but yet people still defend or obsess over it. Like, did you know that a melee hunter has more actual melee abilities than a fucking paladin, because the paladin has none, right? Like, and people get mad, but it's objectively true. Like, what do you want me to say? They're just trash. They're a trash design class. They can still be good in certain ways, but I'm not talking about from strictly a, you know, usability standpoint. I'm just talking about from a design standpoint. Who really finds that fun to just, oh, we're auto attacking all the time and we don't even have the pretense. Minimum same attack, summon a copy of it. I don't think that's really going to come into play at all. Right, what are we going to possibly get? I do need quite a bit. Don't I have a golden, or the golden ones somehow don't show up here when you're just kind of scrolling through. That card kind of fucked me over when I was trying to use it with the druid deck. Okay, so let me go ahead and try to... let me try to figure out what we have here. Golden. Wait, how do you even see that again? I forgot. Premium. Oh, let me see. Or yeah, because there's so many different kinds of premium now, it's going to be confusing. Let's go just with owned. What exactly? Yeah, these kind of newer options that they've done are pretty good. Wait, but how can that be? Like, I just kept... Where's the golden one, though? What the fuck? Wait, where's all the golden shit? We had so many of them, clearly. Okay, so we have Beardo, obviously, for the sake of the coin and everything. And again, there's probably far more efficient ways to do it, but I will take satisfaction in even doing it the old way for now. Hang on a second. How the fuck do you do this? That is so weird that you even have to do it like that. So anything that's golden, I can just do indiscriminately because I don't really even care. You could always just recraft it again if you wanted to do that. So we should get a shitload from this, actually. We might need a shitload. They still didn't make the gold thing that convenient to see. I liked all the other options, but let's see. I'm never going to remember offhand what you can actually do or what you can't. They keep changing it over the years, too. Like, so many things are, you know, standard now that are not at all... Even this kind of shit doesn't make sense because there was always that annoying thing where if you typed in new and then you hovered over it, it would disappear because you're looking up new stuff, and now it's no longer new because you looked at it. So it wasn't even really a bug. It was just sort of an oversight that took a super long time for them to actually address. Yeah, we'll mess around with this again. If I think of some other fun mechanics, those are at least the 3 cards that I'm going to make for sure. We're going to make the Baron Rivendare thing, even though it's not even a Paladin card and it has nothing to do with this, but it just kind of seems fun thematically. And then we're going to make the guy who adapts like 5 times, and then we would make... I said one other thing, and now I can't remember. I'll just look through the Paladin legendaries. I don't know what other Paladin hero cards there even are. The only one I think of is Uther and that Carryall. Deal 7 damage to a random enemy. Okay, well, it's not like we're fucking playing as this class anyway. Let's see. We would need 16, 32, probably 48, which I should have because we had like 1 golden legendary itself, right? And we obviously haven't... Oh, I probably shouldn't do it with these. But it doesn't matter. Like, even if I decide to use that, I could just remake it. That's the beauty of it. The one time where disenchanting stuff doesn't fuck me over, whereas I always complain like, oh, I get OCD and I overdo it, and then I basically ruin my whole collection. But right, keep shrinking it by 75%, and then I do it all over again. Or, you know, the one thing that'll fuck you up when you're disenchanting stuff is like, you'll go through and like, let me disenchant every single class except for this one that I want to use, but then you'll accidentally disenchant a card like that's shared between two, right? So like, let's say, oh, you only want shaman cards, so you disenchant the mage cards indiscriminately, but then you realize, oh shit, they're shared between the two, and you might be like, how could you not notice? But it's because they're both blue, so they choose like, oh, the light blue and the dark blue for shaman and mage, so you won't even notice. Or the like with hunter and demon hunter, like one is green and one is light green, like they almost do that on purpose as if to troll you. Okay, that you can't do, that you can't do. Why the fuck are they all new then? New from what? Okay, I don't care about that. What was the legendary? We definitely didn't get one if we... The fuck? Must be a neutral legendary coming up. I don't remember what it was. I was just excited to get one, and I had no intention to really keep it. Wait, what? There's no way I could have done it. Would this even work as a thing? That makes no sense. What the fuck was it? I have to go back in my VOD and HGC. I don't think we did it. I guess that's almost good enough. Or in fact, that probably should be all I need. Like, all I wanted was Baron Rivendare, I think. Right? He's the one who... Wait, what? Okay, wait. Yeah, you go here. Baron... Or no, wait, it's not. 4 horsemen. Is that horseman? Just do horse. I can never escape my love for knights, like from chess. Rivendare War Rider. Okay, create that. And then we also have the ability to more like the 4 horsemen of... And your death shall be merciful. Can't get here on time. The Blamo Famine Rider. Lifesteal. If you had all 4 horsemen die this game, destroy the enemy hero. If you had all 4 horsemen die this game, destroy the enemy hero. Obviously, Korthas Death Rider. Zeliek Conquest Strider. I love how they take some of these things and beat it like a dead... I guess you're beating the 4 horsemen like a dead horse. But no, the point is that... I wasn't even thinking that when I said it, but when they beat a mechanic like a dead horse, where like they'll take a character and then they'll make like 50 different versions of it. Like, oh, Ragnaros, then Ragnaros Firelord, then Ragnaros Lightlord. Like, come on, dude. You go from like pun design to something else entirely. Right, live insect, like, oh, haha, so funny, but... Wait, what was the other thing I wanted? I wanted the simple ability to do, maybe just look at the Paladin legendaries and hero cards, but there was something else I just said, and I forgot what it is now. Oh yeah, the guy who adapts like a fucking clown, which again has nothing to do with the mechanic, but I honestly just can't think of anything like super fun to go along with this. Look at all the legendary cards. Of course, we have the one hero here, so let's just see. Emperor Raps, what is that? Summon a 2/2 copy of a friendly minion. Would that be like something I could build around as a fun thing? And the answer is, I don't know with what. Silverhand Recruit, upgrade your hero power. Don't really care too much about that. After you summon attack, Divine Shield, healing is doubled. I'm not a big fan of healing. After you cast a holy spell, cast again. Like, the one thing that gets excluded from this a lot is one-off effects. If it's like, oh, it does one thing for the rest of the game, right, it doesn't matter. Or like one thing right now on the board or something, you don't really care about effects like that. You want something that lasts the whole game or has like a whole game-changing effect to make it really fun. Convert all but one of your health into armor. That is kind of interesting. That has a lot of uses over the history of the course of the game, but obviously it'll fuck you over. Just use that stupid plate breaker, right? I remember using that against a priest or something and getting rid of 80 armor because they were using like that 8/8 that gives you 8 armor when it dies. Like that was my best use of it on the ladder one time. Not against a warrior, but against a fucking priest because there were no warriors on the ladder. Set the health of all other minions to 1. Deal 1 damage to all minions. That's just a good overall card, period. Discover a location from the future. Wait, what? Does this mean like they don't exist? Okay, this is kind of fun because these... Choose a minion. What the hell is this? Choose a minion, destroy all minions with less attack than it. These aren't real cards, are they? Summon a random 3-cost minion, give it oh, this is kind of cool. I'm almost obligated to do that, but now I feel like I have to do the other guy. Okay, she's definitely on the wish list here. If only I could actually fucking figure out what that golden legendary was. Whenever a minion gains attack, health, don't really care about that. We probably want Lorthamar. Start of your turn, transform in a copy of minion in your deck that stays in your hand. That could certainly have a certain fun factor to it, although it's almost kind of too new for me to want to use. So what you could do with this is you could have only 1 minion in your deck and then just keep doing it, right? But then what if you draw the minion, then you're screwed. Give your hero Divine Shield for the rest of the game. Playing a holy spell refreshes it. Okay, give the next Silverhand recruit +3/+3 in this death rattle. Don't really care about that. Reduce the cost of holy spells. Don't really care about that. Set each player to 10 mana crystals. I mean, that is kind of fun, and Nod's Dormu itself is very fun. So, what would be the 3 that I would want if I had... I'm never gonna have enough fucking dust for this, but this one is very cool. This one is okay. This one is fine. And again, we're judging it by fun factor more so than quality. Whenever you restore health, gain Divine Shield. Don't care about that. Don't care about that. Transform your soldiers. Okay, don't care about that. Swap your health. Give it lifesteal for the rest of the game. After you summon a recruit, give it Divine Shield. Transform all 1-cost cards in your deck to legendary minions. If your deck has no neutral cards, draw a minion of each type. Okay, don't care about that. Again, I'm just looking if it's a one-off effect, basically. Regardless how good or bad they might be. Get 8 3/2 bandits bonus effect. Any that can't fit are summoned instead. That's kind of fun in a way too. Send all minions 2 turns in the future. Sometimes I don't really get how this even works. It'll just kill them, but then they'll, come back after 2 turns, but then it triggers their death rattle or something like that. Give a random minion of hand +2/+4. Look at how inefficient that is though by today's standards. When it dies, re-equip this. Okay, resurrect 3 friendly max. Lady Leodrin, add a copy of each spell you cast on this game to your hand. Cast spells you... Wait, what? Cast each spell you cast on your minions this game on this one. Summon a random Divine Shield, Rush, and Taunt minion from your deck. Well, if one of them gives it charge, because there was something that mentioned that now. Right, what card mentioned charge? Divine Shield, Rush, Taunt minion from your deck. Your deck has no neutral cards. Okay, don't care about that. Don't care about that. Whenever this attacks a minion, defenders attack. Okay. Restore both heroes to full health. That could be very annoying to use. Divine Shield, Rush, Lifesteal costs 1 less for each. I just love the fact that he costs 25. It's kind of a troll thing. So what we have now is we only can make 1 of them. Wait, where even is the guy who adapts like 5 times? How did we not even see him? He must be legendary. Wait. What am I looking at? What was that even part of? It was an expansion where everything... Oh, it's like a quest, I think. You have to do the quest first and then... But it still should have showed up. Let me see what's going on. What the hell am I thinking of? Making mummies 2/2. It was like this dinosaur thing that was... What the fuck? Transform into one of the dinosaur forms. Okay, that's not too exciting. Am I just imagining this? It would like adapt, then adapt, then adapt. Like, I'm not even seeing anything. Is it not even a paladin card? But even if it wasn't, it would maybe they got rid of it from the game, or maybe you somehow can't use it in maybe you can't use it in wild, which wouldn't even make sense. But okay, let me see what the fuck is going on with this, dude. I'm trying to remember what it was from. It was from like a set that was like all about dinosaurs and stuff, right? Where everybody got something, maybe something to do with Galakron. You have the stupid adventure thing from it. Huh, this is so weird. Or like Ungoro, maybe it would make sense for it to be from that. Like you would think. I swear there's a card like that. 5 times. What the fuck is going on? Maybe it's not a Paladin card? I swear it was, though. I swear. This is a mystery in itself. This almost I should be allowed to look up. How can it be? Emperor Raps. Righteous Cause. Okay, reward. Give your minions +1/+1. Equip a 1/1 fucking stupid thing. I really just don't remember. So maybe it wasn't a legendary card and I'm just kind of misremembering it. But you would have to do something to earn it, so it must have been a quest card. I honestly don't know. But it would say adapt on there. Let me see it once more. Summon 5 minions, give your minions +1/+1. No, it's not that, not that. Okay, this one I'll make an exception to look up just because like I know what the card is, but adapt 5 times. What the fuck was this card? Gul'dan, okay. So why does this just not exist anymore? The last Kaleidosaur. What is going on? Oh, it's because I have it, I guess. I'm baiting myself. I already fucking had it. Okay, so let's just make something from scratch and see what we got. So I'll put a bunch of stuff that even seems redundant in there. That's my first time cheating by actually looking stuff up. But I mean, why didn't it show up though then when I looked up legendaries? Maybe just because I didn't have whatever. I mean, I knew what I was talking about. I just didn't know what it was. Resurrected 2, 3, and 4 from your class. Okay. Your Titan taunt, your minions can't take more than 2 damage at a time. Some of these will have their in there just because of filler stuff. Add a copy of each spell you cast on friendly. Okay, I don't know how much of that I'm going to do. Your deck has no neutral cards. Add 3 legendary invitations to your hand. That could be fun, but let's see if we can actually build it like that. After this attacks Dredge, we can do that. We can do this. We can do the other guy here. And so now we get to... What else are we missing? But we need a neutral card, so that's not really going to work. Although I kind of want to see that. Or maybe that could be the... No, you need too many of them. Never mind. It's not going to work with this mechanic at least. And I just got that too from one of the packs I just opened. Let's see. We need old Beardo, and then we need... I guess like Zola the Gorgon and some of this Brewmaster shit. But how would the Brewmaster help? You're going to flip it back to your hand. Oh, because you play it, then you flip it back, and then you play it later. Not like you're playing it right away. Right, you got to save them for, obviously, playing them all at once, or... Let me see. What else would make sense here? Hero power doesn't matter. None of this stuff really matters. That thing is, again, they're just for the gimmick. I don't mind Lord Thamar just for the fuck of it. Use a fantastic treasure, shuffle 3 into your deck. This can be fun just for the fuck of it, so maybe I'll try it. I don't know. If this is in both players' decks, I really want the non-consensual Nozdormu that I always talk about with respect to, you know, it's a 7 mana 0/0, but it forces the game to be 15 seconds for both players the whole time. Something like that. We're not trying to win on a normal condition anyway, as far as health, so... You know, like Alex Strasser, something wouldn't matter. All this stuff is fine, so let's just see what else we have then. Let me just see what cards I do have. I do actually have a lot of Paladin cards. Eye for an eye, none of this stuff really matters. Trying to think what else would really fit with this, which again, I'm probably missing a lot of stuff that is. In fact, I have a lot of dust, but I'm almost just too lazy to even bother doing this. I just kind of want to get in and just play a couple games, and then we can worry about iterating on it later on. You probably are going to need a certain amount of AoE. I mean, just do like maybe one equality. Fuck it. I don't know. Divine Favor can sometimes be good. But you're probably not even going to end up using that. Well, I don't know. Or like you need something like Timeout, because you're going to try to do it in such a way that, you know, you can stall the shit out when you're trying to get ready for your thing. So even that dude who's going to heal you for full is not going to be relevant here. I was thinking like somehow I would have to make that the dinosaur itself directly. Right? I wasn't even picturing the quest thing. I think I would just craft him directly. What do you have to do to get it? Cast 5 spells on your minions. I'm probably not even going to be able to do that here, so maybe we'll save that for some other thing. I kind of want the chick that gives me environment, even though what would fit more with this is the simple fact of... I mean, you can't go wrong with True Silver Champion. You can't go wrong with that. Like, just random stuff that has nothing to do with anything. So I'm going to 6/6 with Taunt. Whenever your hero attacks, a minion has a status of 3/3. This thing is kind of a good stall out sort of card. This thing has always been made a lot better than it was before. With both the Taunt and that, so it's not terrible. Again, there's probably a lot of better things you could do, but... Deal 3 to all enemy minions, cost 1 less for each enemy minion. There is no like hard commit gimmick I can do here though, like a rule set, as much as what I was doing before. Right, I could just make like a really good deck and just happen to have this in there with a couple cards that support it, I guess. Beardo, we need that stupid coin guy. 1 less for each enemy minion. You have only 19 cards in here. What is the other card that I'm thinking about? It's that guy who gives you a coin. Which again, there's going to be a lot of other cards that do similar things maybe now too. If you control a quest, or that's why I would do the Kaleidosaur thing anyway. Even if I'm never going to take advantage of it. Let's just see if there's something that has to do with a coin. But no, I want to make one of those legendaries that I was looking at. Whenever your opponent casts a spell, add a coin to your hand. You're like, why wouldn't I do that too? Okay, we'll have at least one of those in there. Whenever this minion attacks, give your opponent a coin. Add a coin to your hand. Death Rattle will give your opponent one. Okay, that makes sense too. If you're holding another 2-cost card, you get a coin. Give your opponent a coin. I mean, all of those kind of just make sense anyway. We should have other 2-cost cards enough to maybe do that. 27, and then what other legendary type clown show shit do we really want? And it was a case of, let me just see again the whole set of them. But yeah, what other hero cards did we really have? There really weren't that many. Some classes definitely have more than others when it comes to wait, it's not even showing. Oh, I guess just because I already have them, I keep getting confused by that. Legendary, so we have the Nozari dude who would be good for this because you're trying to stall the game out as much as possible to be able to get to the point of doing that. Or what I'm missing is now the Brewmasters and stuff too. But I wanted the chick with the environment, so I wanted this chick, I wanted maybe this, which has nothing to do with the thing. Right. That's not really good for this deck. It just seems like something fun to do. Each player to 10 mana crystals is not really even what you want to do. And then finally, you want to figure out... Let's see, what else do we have? You could do some weird thing like this, where you have like 2 horsemen down, and then you play this, and then 2 turns later, you plan it so that you play the other 2. Right, there might be some interaction like that that's actually cool. Add a copy of each spell you cast on the friendly characters, okay. I'm kind of compelled to do Nozari, but I would rather do, I want to do the chick with the environments. It just kind of seems fun. Right, choose a friendly minion, summon a copy with +3 can attack. Draw 2 cards, swap their cost. This is just too many cool things to go along with it. Fuck it. I already have the other thing to stall for time. The okay, let's do the Brewmaster just because that's important, or to your hand, right? Return something to your hand. Oh god. Return a minion. What the fuck? I mean, it means we must already have the Brewmaster. These cards are evergreen and eternal, like you wouldn't believe. Right, always good for my Iron Juggernaut thing. Even the other one is, yeah. Even the other one is worth it for 4 costs. So let's see what we can get rid of. You obviously need that. That's fine. That's fine. Having the 2 heroes almost doesn't make sense. Right, but just for the fuck of it, we'll do it anyway. Some of these are in there just for the stupidity of whatever the fuck I feel like doing. And, you know, let's see if there's something I can get rid of if we have two of something. All the stuff to do with the coin makes sense because I mean that's all you really need, right? As far as the win condition, so anything you get from that is going to be good. You can get rid of 2 things, and I don't know what they really are going to be. Maybe I'll get rid of. Nah, that seems dumb though, because those are so integral to what you're trying to do. Right, you can kind of just pass 2 turns that are going to allow you to essentially push your win condition out, which that is kind of a super annoying card, but this guy really has nothing to do with anything. But I just kind of wanted him for the fuck of it. Even Lorthamar doesn't really make sense, but it's just such a fun card, period, that I just like to use it. I don't know. Even the environment chick has nothing to do with this. You would need the quest thing just for that. You're not really going to ever do the condition of the quest. Zola also makes a copy of something, right, just so that you can play it with impunity and not worry about it dying. And so this is so fun, but there's just something I got to get rid of. Damn it. Restore 8 health. That's just good for kind of dragging the game out a bit, I guess. And we don't have too many 5-cost cards. Damn, why is this so hard to decide? After you cast a spell, refresh your hero power. Obviously, that's the whole thing that you got to do. What is that one thing that says that Koldara Drake? But that's only a mage card, right? Just trying to think if there was some sort of format that would be, you know, allowing you to use any card as any class or combining 2 classes together. Then all of a sudden, that would be really good for this type of mechanic because it lets you cast your hero power many times as you want, but obviously you can't do it as a fucking paladin. Wait, let me see. What do I really want to get rid of? People would say this, but for some reason, it just doesn't make. There might be some games where I just end up doing it though. Anyway. Okay, let's seriously think what I want to get rid of. Damn it, I really can't decide. Holding another 2-cost card, like, you probably will be doing that. You know, I'll just go with my first instinct. Fuck it, we'll do it like this. Let's just see, we'll go until we lose a game or whatever. I'm obviously not gonna lose at all, so I could just go forever. So we're gonna go with this. Ban, notice this card is now banned in 1 or more formats. If you're holding a dragon, gain an empty mana crystal. 2 mana, 1 once. Splish, splash, well. That's just how you automatically know a card is actually really good. And we have the same twist mode going on, like with all the pre-made Whizbang type decks, which is really fun. But they nerfed that all around. We're like, Cthulhu started with 80 health, then they made everybody have the same amount of health. I was right about it being overpowered. So clearly, whenever games I lost to Cthulhu only, right, those are the only ones I think I lost, are completely invalidated. Of course, you're going to telegraph pretty hard what you're doing here, but you almost need a way to guarantee that you're going to get the hero card, though, because that's what can take so fucking long, right? You would play... It's too much like that. You're going to need a ton of card draw because you need Beardo, and you need the guy, and you need all this other shit. Yeah, timeout is like your effective ice block play, or why not just have that be bubble? Because that's literally what it would be. Like, you're immune this turn by bubbling. Why would timeout be the fucking thing that you would say? Right, like, when you already have, I guess lay on hands wouldn't make quite as much sense, but we end up using the thing that I wanted to do just because that thing seems fun, but we're not using it for the fun purpose. It's just for 5 mana 8/8 and that 5 times. Like, that's not such a bad card, even by today's standards. Give it stealth, give it Wind Fury, and you're fucked. Stealth, Wind Fury, attack. Right, and just finish you off the next turn. I don't see how with this deck, though, I'd ever be able to get the effect off of it. So we're just using it as a prop for now, which is maybe what I was using it even in this with before, because I did have it. Okay, that we can wait on. You want to do this first. But it's just the fact that it's going to take too long, right? Not that these decks I'm going against are very good, but this could actually be good and competitive. Maybe. But you have to complement it with a lot of other better cards. You're not always doing it just because of the win condition. You just happen to have that in there, right? But then again, I'm sort of already built around it too much. Right? It's not like you always have to do it for that reason. Oh yeah, well that's only gonna help because, well, if I get another 2-cost card, like how many coins do you really need? You play the hero power, then you play Beardo, then you play the hero, wait. But how would you do it as far as the cost? Oh, but the coins are giving you the cost, that's why it doesn't matter. Like you could have Thracian in there. But you play the hero power for 2, then you play Beardo, so you're down to 5. Then you do the coin, then you play it again, then you do the coin, you play it again, you do the coin, you play it again. You need like 3 coins, right? Just because you play the thing first, then you play Beardo, then you play the coin, you play one, you play the coin, you play one. Yeah. I don't know why that's so hard for me to figure out. So this is still going to be good. Like we already have enough if we just got the necessary cards. We could literally win the game right now. Like, it's that easy, I guess. Just do the fucking Beardo and just do the fucking thing. How can it be that simple? Like, how could you not stop that? Sure, it'll take me a while to get those, but there must be other better ways to cycle through your deck by today's standards. Or we can just drag the game out that long in the normal course of play just because, oh, I'm using all these busted, overpowered, power creep modern cards, which of course I'm not even doing, but you know, that's a card, for example, you could stall out with pretty well. Or even you could farm out more coins with that shit, but I don't really want to even. But like, we almost have too many things that give us coins now where we're gonna run out of room, but we could just play them too for other purposes too. Whenever your opponent casts a spell, add a coin to your hand. Which presumably is going to happen at least once for them to cast a spell to remove it, but obviously the decks we're going against are not going to be good, but I'm just more so judging it on a base level. If I just happen to have Uther and that in my hand, I would already have won. Right, like I literally have the coin condition already. So there are a few newer cards that would come into play. Newer compared to like when this came out, because I haven't really probably played it since. I don't know. I mean, are we really gonna get rushed down by a bronze rank 10 fucking bot hunter? This is the right idea though. If it is a new player, you know, you should play an aggro kind of clown show thing, but power creep in this game has become about as nasty as these fucking tentacles here, where it just becomes kind of too blatant and too obvious and sucks the fun out of it to a degree. Or now I'm going to be fucking breaking my hand. So the healing is very important, which we're going to have in the form of not a very good card here, but look at the amount that they improved this too. Like, oh, you know, it used to be it wasn't even a 5/7, I don't think. I can't remember what it was, but let's see what we can do. We can trade this into there. Whatever, keep the board nice and clean, and then all we have to do, we could even play Carriel again just to stall it out a bit more. We get more health, we get more armor, we can't take more than 2 damage. When I first saw that, I thought, oh, the 2-5 means that every time you get hit, it'll lose 1 durability, but it just doesn't. So what's the point of the 5 even? Just for other effects that might try to destroy it. Like, right, like remove 2 durability from opponent's weapon, so it would withstand that, but... What if I just try to win in like a normal way?
Our hardships only strengthen our resistance.
And you can use it as a weapon too, but I really don't see why you would even bother doing that. Yeah, that is an annoying effect. You can only take 2 damage at a time, whatever. And then we also have the potential for the other dude, where it's like the Nozari that's going to full heal you. So you could really drag it out. That's what you're showing here, is that it's not that it matters against an opponent like this, but if it was a better opponent, you could really drag the game out. You could use timeout twice. You could use Nozari once. That's going to drag it out. You could use Reno Jackson too, although that might be hard to make a deck with no duplicates, but you could drag it out for that long. Where there's really nothing you can do, again, even if you were a better deck. Let's just do this. You know, even though I was just saying you shouldn't do that, I even will. The random in your hand, +4/+4. I don't think I've ever hardly used Cariol before. I was just always fascinated by that effect. I do like it. Or wait, what the fuck? Even by attacking, it still doesn't lose durability, so why? Then what's the point of the durability? Then why not have 0 durability or 1 durability? I feel like it didn't used to even say that. I feel like it used to be able to. Can't be damaged. Okay, we don't need to fuck around with that. Or I could have done that again, I guess, and guaranteed. Draw a card, fill your hand with copies of it, discover legendary minions, summon 2 copies. Replace your hand with legendary minions. Let's just do that. Again, some of this is in here just as a fun factor sort of thing. Or I hear you like treasure, so I summon a dude that gives me more treasure, but actually it doesn't. Like, whatever, you know, 2 treasure related cards, and this is even the same dude. The unholy trinity of 666. Like Lord Thamar, I just always try to find a way to fit him in every deck I ever use, because, or we can do the BM period where I try to win with the actual win condition, but I don't think I really care enough to do this. Right, like it doesn't matter, but I'm not going to even bother. But the whole thing is the coins are very easy to figure out, and the reason why is because you have a number of newer, kind of new-ish cards at least, that would definitely make it easier to get them. But that's not necessarily the issue. The issue might be getting the dude in the first place. But no, like there'll be all these kind of games that you'll win because of that, right? Oh, I had Cariol and she carried me, or something like that, when it doesn't even matter because, you know, whatever, that opponent wasn't very good.
Uther versus Illidan. This ends now.
You almost want a mulligan for Uther. I want to mess around with the Baron Rivendare thing though here alone, right? Just to see this new mechanic. We could win because of that, right? You have so many different win conditions you could potentially do. You could just win on the board like I did there.
Happy Midsummer Fire Festival.
That's quite a mouthful. You could just do this for the fuck of it, but you don't know. Is it a bait play or not? Maybe I'm really trying to summon Galvadon and win because of that. That could be a win condition too, but some other card would have to generate something that would target a card, because none of my cards really do that, like a buff or something. We use this Marin the Fox dude, I think, for the first time ever there, or he's not the fox here. So this is just for the fun of the environment itself, where I don't really fully understand what that means either. From the future, so these are cards that don't exist yet that might be added in future expansions. They're giving you like their concept ideas. I really don't get it. Cast 3 random Paladin secrets. Your next battle cry this turn triggers twice. Okay. Use a friendly minion, summon a copy with +3 health and taunt that can't attack. That could be good, just the secrets.
Battle.
Okay. Yeah, those are the last 3 classes that we're not really even looking forward to a ton, but it'll still be refreshing. Demon Hunter, Death Knight, just because they're newer and I haven't played them that much over time. Rogue, because I've just never played it that much in the history of the game. And then obviously Mage is going to be next with mainly the elusive anti-spell type thing. So we're pretty much in the end phase of this whole gimmick rotation where, again, it was always about playing a deck that's sort of fun or interesting. One of my favorite decks from the history of the game. Not so much whether they're good or not. I mean, you can't resist that. But no, this one's kind of disorganized and hodgepodge, which I'm not a big fan of, because by that logic, people could just say, oh, haha, you could just use this card or that card or better stuff, because I don't have the gimmick clearly to restrict myself that way. To say, no, the reason why I'm not using it is because of some other reason. Let's just go ahead and do that. Yeah, we got to fit Mysterious Challenger in here somehow, but you'd need to kind of load your deck with too many secrets for that to even make sense. No, I want to see how this one plays out, but it's going to take too long. That's the thing. Right, like, do you really want that to happen? It's good, I guess, if all else fails with your other win condition, but it's less likely that your win condition is going to fail, but it's more likely that you'll just lose before you get to do it. They're secrets, because even I don't know what they do because I'm not even paying attention. Noble Sack, Judgment. It gets to the point where there's just too many stuff like that in the game, especially in Wild, where like there's way too many secrets and you can't even guess what they're going to be anymore. So now we get to see, we could flip her back and do this, but let's just do this. And there's no guarantee that you even get the ability to try to do this, because what if they just silence it now, right? They won't even let me get it, so I'm not doing it for that reason, but maybe I was hoping that that would kill it, you know. Like with Rin, it can be difficult. You have to play Rin, the Dark Disciple, and then you have to use some kind of your own spell that would kill it. Like the one that heals you for 4, sacrifice your own minion, etc. But no, this could be fun, but I'm not going to actually see the win condition here even come into play. But again, most of these games we can seemingly just win however I want. Like we could coin out Carry-All and then do something else, but I mean, I guess if I don't, I'm kind of screwed. Let's just go like full defensive mode here. We can kill everything besides the 10-6. We can play this. We can hit this. No, I think it's so dumb that it even has the, or maybe I could have, if I had hit that first, they would have all died at the same time. So I forget how that would work in some other way. After your opponent plays 3 cards in one turn, summon a 3/4 steed with taunt. So I mean, now that 10 damage value is going to be completely meaningless. And I could just kill it with my thing and whack it with that. This is such a game-changing card. I mean, that still is something, but Heighten Taunt. Let me maybe try to rely on this, even though I could have arguably just killed it there anyway. You have your other minions +2/+2, set the attack an enemy of all minions to, okay. You only take 1 from that. I am kind of still in dire straits though, I will admit. Carry-All has saved my life and carried me 2 games in a row now. Oh shit. That's still problematic though. Yeah, that's really gonna save me. I'm kind of still fucked. I need like an equality concentrated play regardless. Lifesteal, that's okay. What else do you have that could save me? Draw 2 minions. Give your minions +2/+2. You could do like this and this.
Let me introduce myself.
That lifesteal could potentially save me, but I feel like it actually won't. And the reason why is because you could just kind of hit right through it. Oh, fuck off. What a convenient play to get. Are you fucking... I was not prepared for that.
You are not prepared.
It's a miracle.
You are not prepared.
It's a miracle.
Fuck. I've even saying like, oh, I should be able to beat these opponents without the win condition, blah, blah, blah. We at least saw this come out to play. But it would be so hard to get to the point where you actually got all 4 of them, right? I'm just doing it as sort of a gimmick. Like how I used Galakron. I was using an imp-focused deck in 2022. And it's like, why the fuck would you put Galakron in there? But just, oh, he has to do with imps. He summons 2 imps with his hero power. So that shows you the full commit to imp play. That's so fucking dumb, bro. Even Cariel can't save me. That line delivery is actually pretty similar to the one that he says in the BC trailer, so I can't complain. Sometimes they kind of fuck up how the voice acting is done, like especially with Malagos. I guess we'll stop there, but whatever. It was just the intention to try to basically... do they ever let you get some of these like with gold or something? 'Cause, like they let you do that with the... They let you do that with the card backs, but they kind of hide it away, right? You'll look at the first several pages and be like, oh, it doesn't, you know, there's nothing there. So, of course, you can't do it, just like with the heroes. But then if you go far enough, so for a super long time, I didn't even know that. If you go far enough, then it lets you buy them. So, like, they kind of hide that whole prospect away. So when we look at this deck, wait, what? Oh, we're looking at the wrong thing. When we look at this deck, it's completely a fucking mess, but... The only thing you would do better is that you might have more card draw or something to cycle through. Right? It's kind of confusing how I even died there to a fucking bronze rank 10 demon hunter. Whatever. Like, my deck obviously isn't very good. What other legendary did I make? I made the chick who summons the environments. A lot of these I already had. I made this dude. Right, so I feel like I should have had more dust, but these are the main things. You get the coins, you have the Beardo, you have the dude, Uther, so everything is fine. Okay, see you tomorrow.